Hello everyone and welcome back to the HCW YouTube channel. My name is Rank Wrestle and another UK Indie review. So the man, the myth, the legend DP attended Progress Chapter 150. That's an anniversary in itself. When the man comes around, the debut of Becky Lynch in Progress. Find out at the end of the video if I'm lying. So how you doing, DP?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How about you? How you doing?
I'm ecstatic. We filmed a Mega Slam review. It's the best review we've ever reviewed. It'll be out by the time this video's out. Loved it.
Cool.
Boo. So we probably should kick off. So it was at the Electric Ballroom, the 26th of February, 2023.
Yep. Just confirm, yeah. Yep.
Was it a packed out show?
Yes, as always, it is a ballroom. Like literally, like there's people standing on the balcony, back walls are filled, bars heavy, everywhere's filled, basically.
Wow. Well, this is going to be something then. So it's a 10-match card, which we've discussed. That's a big card.
Yeah.
But we'll break it down inch by inch. It's not going to take 5 hours to do, but we'll break it down. I can't stop it. So kicking off the show, we had Callan Newman. He was used to he's the Red Pro guy, wasn't he? Like one of the young guns in Red Pro with like
Are you not
Brendan
covering
White.
Are you not covering the
Oh no, yeah, I do apologise. There was a pre-show, as I said, it's not on Cage Match. Let me go find this pre-show match. I do apologise for the people that were looking forward to my review on the pre-show, which you've deleted. You've deleted. What was the pre-show, Deep?
I deleted. I thought you had it. So it was a pre-show match between two play fight prospects, which is a training school, owned by Tom Dawkins, Car Noir, between Cody Saliho and Papa Zanzi.
Papa Zanzi? That's an incredible name.
Pap.
Oh, Pap. Oh, okay. Pap Zanzi. Cool.
Yeah.
How did that go?
So yeah, it would go exactly as I just thought it would. Really, it's two prospects from a play fight training school. It was very good. Both of them have got a lot of potential. And it'll be just a matter of time before both of them are breaking out onto the scene. I imagine they're like quite advanced class training trainees. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what they normally do, don't they? They get like the best of the school to kind of show how good the school is. You're not going to put like someone that's quite new and that limelight kind of thing.
But normally at Progress, you have that red shirt team, which is like people who go around and help out with seating issues or any queries, whatever. These were also play fight alumni people or like other trainees. So there was just two off the top of my head I think of was one was Bo Bells, one of our interview guests that we've had on the podcast, and
link in the description. Yeah, there you go. There's some work for you, DP.
Cheers, thank you. Another one I saw running around was Ray Leverkusen as well. She was also in the red shirt running around. So yeah, it was just some of the play fight school hanging around as well in the ballroom, as opposed to the normal class that you see. But in regards to the match itself, because it was solid. Not much I can really comment on really. But the match ends by no contest when Bullet comes in and kidnaps Cody.
Why Bullet? What?
I'm not joking. He comes out.
Just kidnaps him.
He comes out. He beats on both of them, and then he grabs Cody and drags him to the back.
What a match!
What
an ending! So who found the police?
Sorry?
Who found the police?
I don't know yet. We'll just find that one out.
This is outrageous. This is reporting a crime live on a podcast. First person to mention it.
A few weeks afterwards, the fact.
So that was the pre-show, unless there was another match.
No.
Popped up. So now I'll get back onto where I actually thought it was going to be. So we had Callan Newman, who I did research. That was the guy from Rev Pro, wasn't he? He started off with like Brendan White and Halfpenny and the other guy that I've completely forgot.
Sean Jackson.
Yeah. Versus the incredible Nick Wayne from most people know from GCW. And he's technically signed to AEW, but he's not allowed to wrestle until he passes college or something. Which throws it out there straight away. So take it away.
Yeah, so this is absolutely opening the show. This was, if you can imagine Cal Newman and imagine Nick Wayne, very fast action, very speedy, a lot of hard-hitting strikes and kicks everywhere around the building. They go over the ropes, they go over the corner, they go top rope, they go middle rope, they go bottom rope, springboard. Everything you can think of from a fast-paced match, they've done.
Yeah.
They did it. There was a spot where Callum Newman does the Kota Ibushi or Will Ospreay stand after a top rope move.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They did a spot with one of those as well. But ultimately, I missed what the finishing move was, but Nick wins via pinfall.
What a review.
I don't know
I'm
what the move was from
assuming,
my head.
was it an actual... you can guess. Normally Nick Wayne, I can't remember like the last Nick Wayne watch, but he's normally quite a high flyer, so I don't know if it was just like some kind of splash.
It most likely was, yeah. I think just because I was so engrossed in the match itself, I just completely lost track of what I was writing.
I was so engrossed in the match that I forgot the finish. What do you mean?
No, I remember things as I write them, and obviously this has been a week since then, so...
Okay, I'll let you off then. In a racial style of this, what would you rate the match?
So most people know me, like, I like technician style, and I do like, the flip. I do like flips and what's the word? Fast action as well. These two tore the house down, quite literally. Standing ovation for the opening match.
Nice.
So naturally, I gave it 4.5 star.
That's a strong act to follow, isn't it?
It's a very strong act to follow, and even so much, you got chants for the band saying, "Follow that, follow that."
Well, at least there was only 9 matches after this. So we kicked off straight into our next match, which was Axel Tischer, people know him as Alexander Wolf from NXT, versus the veteran that is Mike Bird.
That is right. Yes, the godfather of Welsh Pro Wrestling, Mike Bird.
Yes.
So this was a very catch style sort of match between the two of them. So they go in a lot of like wrist locks, hold and holds, and then eventually it stops, and then they have a little competition between themselves.
Yeah.
Where they're doing forward rolls on the cartwheel.
So okay, that's really random for a Mike Bird match, yeah.
Yeah. So
and Tischer thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah. So it was very out of character for I think both of them, but I think they both understood the match they were following, and they weren't really gonna try and outdo it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, they're doing that first, and then eventually it goes on to a hard-hitting style technical affair. We then just get a tombstone after a series of maneuvers from Tischer, which then follows with a suplex style slam that lifts him up and then slams him. So sort of similar to a jackhammer, but not exactly.
Not full on yet.
Yeah. And that is the win for Axel.
Axel Tischer with the win.
Mm-hmm.
So
I rated this.
Yep, I was going to say, I'm assuming this isn't 4.5.
Yeah. So I rated this 3-star.
That's still pretty decent.
Yeah, it was to be like I think it's something to do with being there live as well. It adds something more to it.
Yeah, it does add to it, yeah.
But like if I saw this like on demand, I probably wouldn't rate it as high. But being there live adds a bit to it as well. So 3 stars, which is then followed on by Axel leaving the ring, and then we get someone speaking on the speakers, as you do. Charles Crowley. He's speaking about Mike Bird, who's still in the ring at this point.
Yeah.
And then there's this weird thing, because obviously Charles Crowley is, he is who he is. He's obsessed with chow mein at this point, and he's telling the story about the bird and the boar, and he's teasing him saying, "You're the boar, no, you're the bird," and then he's like, "I'm gonna like eat you like some fine chow mein," and he's doing like the whole Hannibal Lecter sort of like sipping noise.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that, and then Mike Bird leaves frustrated. But yeah, it seems we're getting Mike Bird and Charles Crowley in the future in progress.
Yes. So moving on, we coming up to the third match of the night, which was the Driller Dan Maloney versus, I don't know if it's returning or he's fought prior to this, but Warren Banks is back.
Yes, the Nigerian Kaiju. So he returned at Unboxing.
Yeah.
After Tate Mayfair's had beaten Simon Miller. Which basically he then fought again. He had a match at Chapter 148 and at 149, but I believe he lost both of those. He's going into this with a losing streak essentially. But yeah, so this is a match that if you know Warren Banks, Dan Maloney, you know their style. And this is also technically a match between the 8-7 and the 0-1-2-1.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get a lot of chops, a lot of chops and a lot of chips. Yeah, a lot of chops and a lot of kicks are exchanged. It's very stiff, very intense match between the pair of them. Towards the mid part of the match, we get Tate Mayfair's. He comes out because he's been feuding with Warren Banks lately. He comes out, doesn't really do much. He just like looks at Warren, and Warren's like, "I'm watching you," and then that's about it. Really, between the two of them, and then suddenly Dan hits Driller for the free. So
game over.
Yeah. So Warren loses again. Continues a losing streak. I said it was a 2.5-star match. Wasn't particularly strong. Yeah, wasn't particularly strong for either man. I guess they're building something between Warren and Tate. And Dan was, unfortunately, despite his talent, he was a vehicle to progress it along. But post match, Tate gets in the ring and he hits Warren with his knuckle dusters, which are comedically large. Like he has like this massive set of like silver knuckles, and it's like massive sized. And then he just hits Warren in the face of him, and he's knocked out.
Tightness is greatness.
This is indeed greatness. I'm glad you said it.
I'll get paid by the minute. So next up, we've got a match which I think is a grudge match, if I've seen on social media, which was Nina Samuels and Alexis Falcon.
That's right. So this match was, as you say, a grudge match because Alexis Falcon is tired of Nina's shit, and Nina was the one who exposed Alexis for not being this sort of like gothic sort of like this like what's the word like this rough and like tough and rough sort of girl. Like she is instead this Disney princess who loves Disney and loves Little Mermaid and all that. Like,
what a story.
Yeah. But no, that's necessarily not these two are fighting because they hate each other basically.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of like personal sort of between them. So like it's very ground and pound, very fight like eccentric. So like it's not very like wrestling, like pro wrestling. It's very much ground pound, like technical on the ground.
Yeah.
Start things off. But the match ultimately ends with DQ. When Alexis has Nina in the corner and is doing like the corner foot stomps, and she keeps going and going and going, and the ref counts past 5, and then that calls for the bell. 2.5 stars. The ending ruined it for me.
Yeah, it's probably very abrupt, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could have gone another 5 minutes or so, and that would have upped the rating. But obviously, they're not competing for ratings, so.
Yeah, they're pushing. Yeah, I think there's obviously going to be another match, which is going to be a no holds barred kind of thing, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so they've announced something for the Strong Style 16 weekend, which is a clock strikes midnight match between
Disney-esque. First person to hit someone with a pumpkin.
I don't know what that means. I assume because they put the dome and the ballroom on the poster, that means that it's going to be a late show, and that the match is going to run past midnight into the next day.
You can go with that if you want. I'm just going that it's a Disney quote.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
I'm going with that. So we're going to move on to, it sounds like a banger match. So the Progress Atlas Championship, the challenger Ricky Knight Jr., RKJ, versus Big Damo. Knuckle touch.
Very yes. Literally, that's I say to people in the crowd, like, don't ask for fist bump from Damo because he will literally like. He'll like proper like smack your fist, like
hit your fist and you're at your own head.
This was Ricky Knight Jr.'s birthday on Showdown, not today. So he's here fighting for the Tigers Big Damo. This was a very much a what's the word? A big hoss battle, even though Ricky Knight's not really much of a hoss. Not yet, anyway. But between the pair of them, we get a lot of strikes. Ricky is the one who's going more to the top rope and doing drop kicks because he has to, because Damo is not someone who can really lift that easily. The ending actually comes after RKJ hits a Cyclone F5 sort of thing with a 450 splash. That gets the 2. Damo hits a Canadian Destroyer of all
Okay.
things.
Yeah.
A cannonball and a splash gets 2. He does multiple Damo splashes, which is like the Vader splash thing. He does that multiple times, 2. Then he tries to do a crossbody, like a running crossbody, does Damo. He's caught by RKJ, so he's got him in like that hold.
Yeah.
Lifts him up and transitions into a landslide.
Jesus.
And that gets the 3.
RKJ.
RKJ is the new Progress Atlas champion on his birthday.
Oh,
It
what a lovely gesture.
really is.
Ricky Knight Jr., Atlas champion, Big Damo loser.
Yeah.
But I heard there was some ongoings after the match.
So, yes.
See, I know stuff.
I actually forgot about that until you reminded me because I've got a note here. But so after the match, Damo steals the title. Basically, he's like, I'll put the title on him, thank you. And then they chat in the ring, and he says something to him, probably something, not like you come a long way and whatever.
Yeah.
After that happens, he leaves. No, Ricky leaves. Sorry, and then Axel comes out. And Axel basically just says, "Hey, what a match, right? That was a great match. I love that match." And then he just says to Damo that you've been world champion. He has been. You've been an Atlas champion, which you now just lost. Don't you think there's another title in progress that you should go for?
Women's.
That's the one. No. So he suggests that he and Damo team up to go for the titles. So, and then Damo agrees. He basically says like, "We'll take out consideration," and then they sort of hug, and then that's it. So we're potentially getting
a sanity tag.
Yeah, there was a chance of sanity because I think Axel said something like, "Why put a little insanity in the tag division?"
Question is, when they're going back to Raw, Nikki Cross doesn't have her friends, and Eric Young is back. It's got to happen. I'm telling you, sanity's coming back.
I want that theme back. It was such a good theme.
Bum, 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 bum. I'm guessing that was the first half main event. Bum, 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 bum. So let's go on to the second half. Bum, 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 bum. So we've got a singles match between Raven Creed and Sky Smithson from the, I nearly said the LA Knight experience, the Lana Austin experience.
So it wasn't originally meant to be Lana Austin and Raven Creed.
Yeah.
Because Lana Austin is a heel, and Lana Austin, she refuses to fight She refuses to fight Raven Creed. Sorry. So she has a henchman, Sky Smithson, do it for her.
Yeah.
So the match is now Raven Creed and Sky Smithson. Don't know who approved it, but it's been approved. So we go on with this match. This is very brawler-esque type of match. This is a very frantic, erratic sort of work from Raven. Lana is very involved on the outside, despite the fact that there's a ref. So multiple times Lana tries to hold Raven's leg in place to prevent her from running around. And then at one point Lana also sings a song called "Smelly Raven."
I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it on Twitter.
Yeah. So Sky walks on Raven with various holds after this, and then the exchange of strikes as well between the pair of them. And then a further Lana distraction enables Sky to hit a crossroads for the 3.
Adrenaline in her soul. That's Sky Smithson with the crossroads.
I don't know.
I just made that up.
That's it, actually. I don't know if she has a name for it, that move. I assume she does, but that's how I refer to it as.
Adrenaline in her soul. Calling it now.
Imagine.
Adrenaline roads. Soul roads. Road soul.
Yeah,
Smithson.
I mean, this match I gave it like 2.25 star because it just.
Because you don't like women's wrestling. Let's move on.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's how I get you cancelled.
No. No, it was just a very sort of a sort of match.
It's a women's match.
No, you didn't want to say it, not me. But no, I don't know what the point of the match was. If we're building towards Raven and Lana at some point, I I don't know. It seemed a bit random. That's all.
Yeah, that's the reason. Anyway, moving on. So we've got 0121 himself, Man Like Darius, versus Leo Rush. I came to rush. Yeah, really, I don't know. He might be retarded. Let's carry on.
Okay, so both of them, as you can tell, are both very charismatic people. So the match goes underway, and as always with a Darius match, there's always some sort of additional thing going on at the start, rather than straight into the wrestling.
Yep.
So both of them do a lot of like crowd taunting, like crowd pandering. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, look, there's Darius. 0121. Oh, look, there's Leo. Let's go, Leo. It's very back and forth.
Darius is on fire. Darius. Yeah.
Yeah, that was there. And then someone also replied to that, put him out then.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Fire hazard!
So we get a lot of the traditional Leo Rush offense, where he like does a little, avoid kick, avoid punch.
Yeah.
I'll run forward, turn left. You know, like a lot of that start things off. A lot of back and forth as well between the pair of them. This is very much a back and forth match, but Leo gets a lot of his greatest hits in.
Mm-hmm.
And the match ultimately ends after Darius hits a powerbomb, which only gets a 2 count, which Leo then reverses after a missed 450 splash from Darius, which he then hits his bottom rope springboard stunner, followed on by the frog splash. 3.
Yeah, what was the rating then?
Oh yeah, sorry. Well, I don't know the last match was.
You were just expecting me to say some random crap, were you?
Yeah.
I'm not a monkey. I can do what I want.
No, this was a 4-star. It's very good match. Didn't follow on exactly from Newman and Wayne, but
yeah,
still very good. Also,
still very good.
Forgot to say, RKJ and Damo 4.5.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that. That would have been one of the matches of the night. We just kind of didn't rate that at all.
Yeah,
fair enough. So following on from Mr. Rushy and like Darisi, we had another with females match, 3 on the card, which is pretty decent.
Yeah.
Have I maths that wrong? No, I have done that right.
Yeah.
So we had Lizzie Evo versus Millie McKenzie.
Yeah. So this match comes about because Millie and her mum, Session Martina, have been like goofing around backstage, and Lizzie has had enough of it. So she thinks Millie's a bit too much of a goof. Which she finds out very quickly that that's not the case, because Millie is a very technical sound wrestler, as we all know.
Unless her mother's around.
Yeah. But so yeah, we get a lot of Lizzie has most of the offense in this match for the first like half of it. So she attacks Billy before the bell even goes off for the first time. We get a lot of outside action as well, like in between the crowd and like towards the staging area as well. After slapping the German suplex from Lizzie, Millie finally gets fired up at this point. So finally the goof is gone, and now we have actual Millie McKenzie.
Suplex Millie.
Yeah, actual like Medusa Complex Millie. Like,
good stuff.
We get a big time spear for Millie. We get a series of shotgun drop kicks. After this, though, Lizzie does get some offense back into it with some strikes and a top rope hooked overhead suplex.
Yep.
Unfortunately for Lizzie, she takes too much time gloating and whatever, and then an inside cradle from Millie gets the 3 count.
Millie McKenzie with a quick roll up.
Yeah.
And what we call in the rain?
I gave this one a solid 3.5.
Oh, that's a good rating.
Mm-hmm.
So you've already blown my theory through the door that you don't like women's wrestling. I
think it helps when you've got like 2 competent wrestlers who do a match and not have a antiquated finish.
Okay, yeah, so it's straight to the point. Number 19 on the all-time women's rankings, Rate Wrestle. Let me shout that video right now. In the description, isn't it, DP? So after that match, we kick into a main event, which there was a few things on the line, which are not noted here. I believe one of them is if a certain person wins, a certain person returns. So we had Tom Dawkins, who I found out was the certain person last time I did a review with you, versus the despicable Spike Trevay.
Yeah, the despicable, also Progress World Champion, Spike Trevay.
Oh yeah, I probably should mention that, shouldn't I? Yeah, he has titles.
But yeah, the stipulation was if Tom Dawkins was able to beat Spike Trevay, then Cara Noir, his persona, would come back to Progress after being chucked out by Spike Trevay.
Yeah.
So before the match even starts, it's declared as a no DQ match. So we're instantly thinking, oh great, here comes Bullet at some point.
No, he's too busy kidnapping people.
Apparently so, yeah. Sorry. Tom comes out first, in full on like young lion gear as always, because Tom is just Tom. He's not anything like particularly special. He's a great wrestler. It's just in this current storytelling, he's not all that. Spike Trevay, I don't know if you've seen the pictures online. Spike Trevay comes out in Cara Noir makeup.
Yeah, I saw the odd picture.
Mm-hmm. So his full face is painted up to like this area in like white paint. So Tom leaves. He's insulted, and he goes to the stage. He says, "I've had enough with your shit. There's issues here. But I'm not the only one who has issues with you." And then out comes Damo and Axel, who've also had issues with Spike in the past, and they basically fight off Bullet.
Okay.
So Bullet's always with Spike, just to protect that. But yeah, so that gets rid of Bullet, and then we finally get the match between Spike and Tom. This was very much the Spike Trevay show for the first half of this match. It's very much Tom is trying to do things, but he can't, because either his heart's not in it, or he ain't got enough spirit, or whatever the reason being for the story. That's what happened. So we get a lot of like use of chairs, a lot of outside action where he like slams Tom into the side of the ring. Eventually, Spike begins stripping Tom, like stripping him of not only Cara Noir back last year or 2021, whatever it was, but also now of his wrestling gear as Tom Dawkins. So he's taking off like his shoes, his socks, his kick pads, like everything other than the obvious. Like he's like the things that he can use to injure and to humiliate. So he then begins to focus on Tom's feet, his bare feet. So like he's hitting it with chairs. At one point he bites it.
Yep.
So you can move past that. He then begins to whip Tom with his own kick pad. At some point, some sort of switch turns a little bit, or like a little bit of like fire comes back in Tom, and he has a capoeira kick from out of nowhere onto
Spike.
Exactly, very Cara Noir-esque. Which heads back to the outside, and Tom hits a suicide dive on the Spike. At this point, Spike sets up some chairs on the inside, so move him on a little bit. He sets up some chairs on the inside, and Tom keeps on defying Spike's spot. So he set up two chairs like back to back, so the spine is like there.
Yeah.
And Tom keeps pushing them away, like, I'm not taking your spot. Like, no. And eventually, Spike gets annoyed by all this. At that point that the crowd begins to get to him. So he's like, no, like, don't encourage him. Like, he's a dog. He's a, worthless piece of trash. Like, he shouldn't be here, whatever. And then Tom actually begins firing back as well. And this is the weird bit. He starts rubbing his face on Spike's.
Okay.
Which I initially thought he was biting him or licking him.
Okay. Yeah.
So I've got that written down here, like, lick question mark.
Okay.
But I couldn't see it from the angle I was at, that's all. But no, he's rubbing his face on Spike's because he's trying to get the makeup off of Spike onto his own face.
No, okay, so he's drawing the... Yeah, I kind of get it.
Yeah. So at this point, he's trying to emanate Cara Noir, but in Tom Dawkins' body, essentially. He begins to feel himself, and he takes the fight to Spike at this point. He powerbombs Spike into the same chairs that Spike was trying to set up earlier. He then proceeds to get more face paint, like it's a gun reloading. He then continues to attack, and then he covers Spike for a 2, but ultimately that's not much. He hits a elevated package power driver, which is Cara Noir's finish. That isn't the submission. That is.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we get 1, 2. Someone pulls Tom out of the ring. It's Ring Crew. What?
It's Cara Noir.
No, it's Cody Talijo from the pre-show.
Kidnap guy.
Yeah, he comes back and he kidnaps, and he takes Tom out of the ring and brings up the pin and possibly a loss for Spike. Cody looks distraught of himself. He looks like he can't believe what he's just done. But it's clear that Bullet has conspired with him, or Spike has conspired with him to say, "Hey, you're trained by Tom Dawkins. Come pick up Tom Dawkins' pin if Spike's in trouble." So at this point, he leaves to go back to the back. Out comes Bullet. He's dealt with Damo and Axel somehow, I guess.
Was his Bullet?
But he comes back and he fights with Cody because Cody's like, "No, I ain't doing it anymore," pushes him away, and then Bullet chokeslams him into other Ring Crew. So that's him disposed of, I guess. So out comes Bullet. Bullet comes down to the ring now because it's no DQ, so they can do what they like. He comes out. He gets the chain, and him and Spike begin to connect Tom's neck to the chain. Sorry. And then they begin to hold the chain over the ropes while Tom's neck is around it, and they really choke him out. And Spike hits him with chair shots, and then suddenly someone else runs into the ring. It's a woman.
Oh, okay. Carita Manoir.
No.
Okay.
It is Claire, which is Tom Dawkins' wife, and also one
Claire,
of the trainers.
did you say? Or Glenn?
Yeah. No, Claire.
John Gorgon's wife, Glenn. Okay.
No, so she's also one of the head trainers at Play Fight.
Yeah.
So she's also very able to handle herself as well.
Good old Claire.
So yeah, but she comes in, puts a little face off with Spike, and Spike just grabs her by the hair and is like, "Tom, you lay down. I will not touch a hair on your wife. She will not feel any harm if you lay down and take this pin." So Tom begins to do that. He begins laying down after the spike's been released. After the chain has been released, he lays down, and then suddenly Claire turns around, Hurricane Runner, German suplex on Spike.
Okay, fair enough. Yep.
And then that just inspires Tom to come back and fight again. He then grabs the final bit that he needed from Spike, which is the eye face paint.
Mm-hmm.
Like the level of black paint there, and then he puts that on his own face. So we've got a semi-Cara Noir kind of.
B-Tech
really.
Cara, yep.
Yeah, it's not really, not really the full thing, but you know what I mean. Bullet comes in as well. He's dealt with by Claire with a chair.
Okay, I thought you were going to say German suplexes and stuff like that. I was like the man that just took out Big Damo and flipping t-shirt and he just Germaned him.
We get more stuff just like this. Eventually, Bullet is taken down and he's incapacitated for the rest of the match now. Spike attempts to hit Tom, fails. Tom runs into the ropes. His super body sleeper on Spike. Spike doesn't go out, but while he's holding Spike in the hold, Claire goes to the top rope and hits a diving foot stomp, a reverse foot stomp.
Jesus.
Yeah, onto Spike, who's been held in the sleeper. After that, Cara or Tom picks up Spike, elevated package power driver. 1, 2, 3.
He's back.
Cara Noir is officially allowed back in progress.
I forgot this wasn't a title match, was it?
Yeah. I recommend watch this match if you get a chance on demand because it's so good. I think it adds something bit again. As I keep saying, being there live, but Even on demand, I think it'll come across really well.
Rating.
Rating. See, I was really torn here because it from a match perspective in ring, it was maybe a 3.5 star. It was still good. It wasn't to the level of Newman Wayne or RKJ Demo. But when you're adding storyline,
Oh, it's intense.
I think that I'd give it 4.75.
Oh, just not the 5 stars.
It wasn't perfect by any means, but it was damn near it.
Match of the night, baby!
Match of the night in the main event slot. Couldn't ask for anything more.
9 matches later, match of the night.
I mean, it's not bad to be fair. Like there wasn't really a bad match on this card.
What was the overall theory, though? What was the overall feeling of the show?
Overall feeling, this was a very strong show. I wasn't sure if they could improve themselves after 149 in Manchester.
Yep.
Because from what I've heard and from what I've seen on demand, it was a very good show. As was January show as well. So like this post WWE Network progress seems to be in its own element and seems to be doing really fantastically. But obviously, it depends how long it'll last.
Yes. So that's the end of Progress. Check out Gene Money's Daft Lad Emporium that's coming up next. With matches like Amari versus Warren Banks, Shigehiro Irie versus Fumina Mori AB, Kid Lycus versus a mystery lucha opponent in a mass versus mass match. Kid Lycus 2, just to confirm. I'm very confused what that's going to be, because Kid Lycus 2 isn't going to lose his mask, so it's going to be some dodgy guy, isn't it, that he's fighting?
I think it's going to be G Money in the Mask.
Okay. Dean Allmark versus mystery opponent, Danny Luna versus Nino Samuels, and then Jack Bandicoot versus Callum Newman versus Leon Slater. What a match that's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But as usual, like and subscribe. I'm hoping DP's put the handles on like I did on my previous video. I'm good at that. The JJ Go video is probably out by now.
Yeah, it should be.
Like my interview could be out by how long DP takes to do his videos. I could have done many interviews. Just like the channel, subscribe, follow us and join our Discord, follow us on Twitch. We try and game a lot more recently, which is nice.
Yeah.
And overall, that's the end of this. Goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Fuck it down. Generation X.